It's a 1999 Rover Mini, but styled by a man usually associated with high fashion. To celebrate 40 years of the Mini Cooper, Rover turned to clothes designer Paul Smith to work his magic on a limited edition of this already iconic car. Naturally, he colour matched one of his favourite shirts to get the paint colour right, then added a high-quality leather interior and a very stylish 24-carat gold bonnet badge. All this was then contrasted with various bits of citrus green dotted around the car. Only 300 were sold in the UK and they weren't cheap. At over 10 grand, it was the most expensive Mini to date. We love it, but Derek seems to be in two minds.
As far as one of these limited edition, upgraded, modified, call it what you like, model of a Mini or anything else come to that, they are a bit odd. Yeah, I mean, this tickled me. Whatever possessed him to paint the petrol tank in the boot, which you can't see, green, you know, it's a bit weird, isn't it, really? I mean, I don't know what you think about doing about that. It's already been painted, as you can see. That's filler bubbling there. You know, it's got the ultimate leather seats, which is fantastic, I must admit, and they are lovely and comfortable. It's got a CD player, so what? Got a fancy dash, I must admit. I mean, it's a nice bespoke dash, and it's got West of England cloth headlining, which is the same sort of cloth you get in Rolls Royces and Bentleys. What a weird going on. And it's so odd and unusual and rare that, yeah, it may be worth having a try. 1999 Rover Mini, Paul Smith. Fair little thing though, isn't it? Massive interest here. 11, 11.5, 12, 12,250 with me, 12.5, 12,750. Is the 13.
This is going to run, isn't it?
And is the bidder.
Let's see.
Back in, 13.
13.1.
13.1, but on sale and going. The bank at 13.2, 13.3, 13.4, 13.5. On sale and going. 13,500. Going to be sold. On sale and going, 13.5. There we are, well done. Yep.
Fantastic. So we bought one of 300.
It's great. It's great.
We're shipping this one out to our friends at Minisport in Burnley, Lancashire. Chris Harper might be a bit nervous because the last time we brought him a car, most of it arrived in boxes.
Oh, we do like rummaging. Yeah. Well, it's all there, looking at it. The biggest thing with these is if people have messed around with them and taken the bits off that are important. The dash is all right, it's not broken, which is good. And then there's this badge here, which tells you it's a Paul Smith. So that's an important piece, so that hasn't been messed around with. The gauges are right, wheels are right, which is a start. It looks pretty good. If we're going to find anything, we're going to find it underneath.
Never our favourite bit, but workshop manager Rob Eastwood is on hand to break any bad news gently.
First impressions are you've actually maybe bought something that's not in bad order. It's not uncommon to have a bit of oil around on a Mini. I would suggest that that's getting on the slightly too much side. We'll have to have a look, clean it all off and just work out what's going on. A car of this age now, generally what we would find would be it'd need a floor in it, probably needing a wings, quite often possibly even a race shell. Obviously we're in a better situation than that with this car. One of the things that I can tell you straight away after trying to get it on the ramp is the car's going to need some new rubber cones on it. I couldn't get it over the little lip in the floor here.
So the car's sitting low?
The car is sitting too low, yeah.
Because our Mini is short on space, the original suspension didn't use traditional springs. In fact, it actually had rubber cones fitted to the front and rear subframes. On the front, they were mounted vertically, and on the rear, horizontally, to allow more leverage for a softer ride. The cones are attached to a trumpet, which in turn are connected to the wheels via a radius arm. When the wheel hits a bump, the arm pivots and the rubber cone compresses. Although other systems were tried, this simple, cheap setup remained on the classic Mini until production ended. As for the rest of the car, Rob is starting to sound suspicious.
There's been some form of repair on this side here. I don't want to see it, but I think it might be filler. That should be a continuous line all the way down, and it comes and it goes and it comes and it goes. So if it's not steel, we need to do something with it. If it's steel and it's been repaired, it's perfectly fine. Worst case scenario, it could end up with an inner and outer sill on it.
At the rear, more potential expense.
Subframe that carries all the suspension. It has seen better days. I can see it looks like someone's actually done a bit of welding on it, which is not actually MOT-able.
Because it's a structural part of the car.
Because it's a structural part of the car.
And a big lump of metal that now needs replacing.
Yeah, it does put the price up, but we've got to try and protect what we're putting on there.
Difficult to disagree. As always, in for a penny, in for many pounds. In Burnley, with our fashionable Paul Smith Mini being a bit more down at heel than we thought, Rob decides to take it for a test drive.
I know Minis are bouncy, Rob, but everything's vibrating.
Everything is vibrating. So you remember we were discussing the rubber cones?
Would it be anything to do with that then?
Yes. As classic Minis of this age go, it drives pretty well. It's all fixable. We can get all the gears with no crunching. The clutch is not slipping. It doesn't wander over the road. It stops all right. So by the time we've done a bit to it, I think it'll come quite nicely.
Today, there's a very obvious first job to tackle.
There's issues going on that we know of down on the Sill, which we're going to have a deeper delve into today.
For this particular investigation, the interior will need to come out. And while all this is going on, mechanic Warren turns his attention to the rear subframe that's destined for the scrap heap. It's going to be a busy morning.
How are we looking under there?
The subframe is absolutely shot. Yeah, there is flex in it, as you can see here. Can you see there? It's just gone very thin here. As normal, most of the things underneath here are really rusty. The fuel filter, all the brackets for holding all the cables on. But that's kind of expected because it's all underneath. So they'll get replaced when we put it all back together.
As for the suspect's sills, with the carpets out, James has revealed some evidence.
So we've had a pad here and just checking it up to find some spot welds, which means it's had a bit of a repair on this side, like we thought it had. This side as well, just had a spot weld. Get Basil to have a look at it and see what he thinks.
Basil, or Baz as he's known, works across the yard where his body shop is. For the time being, he's not committing to anything.
We'll have a look and we'll discuss it.
With an emphasis on doing everything in the right order, Warren and James get to work, removing the rear assembly. It's a surprisingly quick job.
So now we've got the subframe out, we're going to cut the sill off so we can see what's going on behind there effectively, and then that'll give us an answer whether we're going to have to start cutting inner sills and things like that, but fingers crossed.
That's never worked in the past.
It'll have had numerous repairs. Nothing wrong with it as long as you do it somewhere near right.
And happy?
Not with this particular bit, no. We've had arse of it.
Somebody's part cut a plate out and then left the top side of it in, so it's all rusty around here, and put a plate on the inside. You put a plate on for an MOT, which everybody's done, it should be seam welded. It's not. It wouldn't pass an MOT like that. I would probably put a new inner sill and outer sill into it.
Yet again, we've been a bit caught out by hidden problems. Which is a bit more than we can say for our Paul Smith Mini. Baz is progressing well, but it turns out the other sill, on the driver's side, was also in a bad way.
We've got one side complete. I'm finishing this side off. I've cut half of the inner sill out and put a piece in here. This comes all the way under, right through, and it's all one piece. So basically the idea is just to get rid of all the rot. So this panel would normally be this shape, and that goes right up there. If you wanted to put a new piece in, a new pillar in, you could with this. But there's nothing wrong with that bit up there. So I've cut it, and we're going to join it here. So it'll just slide in, and well done. That's it. Easy.
The good news is we've been able to isolate just the problem areas, which minimises cost.
If it were corroded at the back, you'd end up taking your back bin out, cutting bottoms of your quarter panels out. It's not, so I've done it this way. You've got off fairly lightly with this one, it's not too bad.
As for our designer Mini, the slightly laborious task of sorting out the sills is nearing completion. And it won't be long before the welded areas are repainted in that distinctive Paul Smith blue. So we can now concentrate on the rear subframe, which includes the suspension. To newly qualified mechanic Tom, the problem is obvious.
So you've got your suspension cones here, which are effectively like your spring, and they're buggered really. So you've got your radius arm here, trumpet and the cone go in this nylon cup. That pivots around that centre there and pushes the trumpet into the cone.
A pin goes through that central pivot point, and like so much of this assembly, it's all very worn.
Your pin won't sit in there square and it'll sort of be banging around, which means your arm will be moving around in ways it shouldn't.
And nobody wants that. Workshop manager Rob knew from the start that the subframe would need swapping, but it should add value and keep the next owner happy.
Get this done and the other bit's done, it'll be another 25 years, won't it, before it hopefully needs any work. On this occasion, we're going to keep the cost down. We're going to use an aftermarket one. Readily available. The quality's, there in them. It's just not a genuine one.
It's a fairly radical repair, but in some ways, surprising that it's taken so long to need it.
This design is a 1959 design to throw away. If you got 10 years out of a Mini, you were doing all right. So not just throw the subframe in the bin, you'd throw the car in the bin back then. Fortunately, unfortunately, they lasted better than they probably were ever designed to.
Amongst the new parts, there are opportunities for recycling, thanks to other people's scrapped cars.
We've reused stuff, cleaned some stuff up. This is an original arm that's been reconditioned. So what we do is we put new bearings in it, new pin, paint it all up like brand new. It's just getting everything lined up. And with it being a Mini, everything's tight for space.
Soon to be added into this rebuild are the brakes.
So we've got your original complete back plates that have seen better days, in all honesty. So they're not bad, but they're starting to get a bit crusty around the edges, and your shoes are getting a bit worn and they're a bit old. So what we do have is a complete back plate. So we've got new cylinders, new shoes, new hardware, new handbrake levers, all pre-put together, ready to just put straight onto the car. Nigh on everything's available for a Mini. It just shows how much of a stamp they've made in car culture, I guess. I mean, everyone knows what a Mini is.
And, thanks to skillful engineering, ours will be back on the road in the next few days. In Burnley, after 12 weeks at Chris's garage, the work on our Paul Smith Mini is almost complete. and it's looking very dapper indeed.
Certainly a lot better than what you brought in, that's for sure. We've just given it a new lease of life.
Mechanic James is putting the finishing touches to the driver's side front suspension.
And there's two.
The other side, including the brakes, is already complete.
I think that was probably put on from new, so it's not done bad.
The sills have all been repainted, and the largely new rear subframe assembly is also in place.
This is a car to be ready for somebody to drive it, take it to shows, be admired. What I'd like to do is to show people that you can buy a Mini. You don't have to put 40, 50 grand into it to have a nice one. You can buy one and you can sympathetically restore it.
We think this could be one of the best examples around of this iconic limited edition. But if we didn't spend 50 grand, how much did it cost? Including tax and commission, it was £14,715 to buy. Parts were £1,585, but the labour was £12,621, bringing the total to a slightly steep £28,921. Back in Pickering, it just so happens that one of the Mathewsons actually drives a Mini. Admittedly, Charlie's is a bit more powerful though.
First impressions are really, really good. Stood here, it's blue. If I stand there, it's purple. But it's all right because it has got green dust caps.
It was based on the clothes that he was wearing at the time when Rover said, can you do as a special edition model?
Right. Well, he maybe should have worn some slightly different colour clothes then, shouldn't he? But to be fair, you've got to be a bit different with your colours or else it'd just look like a normal car, wouldn't it? At least you can walk up to it and go, purple and green, or blue and green. That's a Paul Smith one. I did squint underneath, it looked very, very nice. And all the seams and panel gaps look good. The general rule of thumb, Grandad used to tell me, was a £1 coin. If you can get a £1 coin in at the top, in the middle and the bottom, then they're not too bad. I haven't seen anything yet that I don't like or that I'd have to change. Inside is lovely, isn't it? I actually quite like it, you know. It drives really, really well, pulls nicely, feels good. I don't know whether it's the way it does that over the bumps or because you feel like you're so small or... I don't know what it is. There is something about a little Mini that kind of makes you just giggle and just laugh a little bit. It's odd, it really is. But yeah, no, it certainly feels nice. You can tell it's all new underneath, which makes a big difference to a car. Underneath is almost as important or more important than what's on top. I think I'm experiencing just liking a little car that you can't really drive because it's too small and uncomfy and all that, but you still like it because it's a little Mini.
Lot number 272, 1999 Rover Mini Paul Smith. The bangers and cash. Massive amount of interest here, absolutely.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Massive interest in it, naturally. So there you go. Start me then where you're going to be. I've got 13.5 there, 14, 14.5, 15,000 with me. Who wants 15.5?
Yes. We're nearly halfway.
15,000. Who wants 15.5?
We're over the original purchase price.
Well, that might be the case, but don't forget we've had it recommissioned.
Don't get bogged down in that, John.
Best bid I've got on my books, £15,000. You're all out. All the rest of these people are out.
Should we do a sort of half-hearted clap?
Second. Third and last time, 15,000. There we are, 15,000.
It's that sort of clap, innit?
We're disappointed, and we haven't even answered to Derek yet. These days, though, we don't usually tell him how much money we've lost, because it's not good for his blood pressure, and he seems to think around 15 grand is about right.
Dead straight body, straight as a die, very smart. So that's why I sort of built up this 15 plus somehow, you know? And I was really pleased that it achieved about that, because it deserves to. So, no, I'm pleased for it. And I think you should be pleased, as long as you don't owe you too much. As long as you haven't gone balmy at it.
Let's talk about money.
No, it's vulgar, isn't it? I don't like talking about it, yeah. It's a vulgar subject, is money.
But the good news is, this Paul Smith Classic could have been tailor-made for its new owner, Ron Amy. He's already invested in the brand.
My Paul Smith backpack is going to be very comfortable in the boot. Wow, brilliant. This is a Paul Smith sweatshirt. See how the colour matches? Not bad, eh?
He's also wearing a Paul Smith hat.
Sorted. He's not attempting to cut the cloth differently. He's attempting to complement colours. And that's what he's done with this. Well. Oh, very nice. It's just your original Mini, modernised, and Paul Smith, quite understated. I'll just enjoy it, drive it around locally, only when it's good weather. It'll never be out in the winter.
I don't know who it was that said you should always wear your best clothes.
No, I've made an attempt to be complimentary to the car with my dress today. No, I must say I don't always wear my best clothes. I'm not even sure what my best clothes are.